Hey everybody, I'm Robert. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome down to the studio. Hope you're having a great day. I want to touch base on something that was very important to me. I made a video about it a couple weeks ago, and it is quite simple. McLaren has responded to Brooks from Drag Times. They have basically made a statement that they didn't have to make, and I want to go over that. For those of you that haven't seen the original video that I made a couple weeks ago talking about how McLaren, the VP of marketing and communications, ultimately told Brooks that he was just a YouTuber, just an owner with a camera, and he doesn't get to review their cars. See the description below to see that video, and now you can watch this video to see exactly what I'm talking about and what another VP, the VP of PR, said to Brooks. For those of you that want to just get to the nitty gritty, we're going to do timestamps, so you can look in the description below and just click through and it'll take you to each chapter of what we're talking about. The bottom line is that Brooks got the McLaren Elva. This was given to him by his McLaren dealer in Florida. Not even given to him. The dealer actually went on the ride with him. He was allowed to make a video in the car, put in his performance recording system, the Draggy, and he made a video. He put it out online. McLaren didn't like it. They didn't like the Draggy results because it was a pre-production car. They ultimately said just take the whole video down, and Brooks took the whole video down essentially to protect his dealership because he could have just left it up and it didn't matter. He said, you know what, I don't want any drama, let's just take it down. He spoke with the VP of communications and marketing, and he said, you're just a YouTuber, you're just an owner with a camera, you don't get to review our cars, and that's why you have to take this video down. That's why you shouldn't have been there in the first place. Now, that obviously put a little bit of an uproar in a very small community, and McLaren was in a position where they had the right and the ability to simply ignore it. Whereas my video had decent results in terms of my channel, in the grand scheme of the world, the marketing world, everything, it was a drop in the bucket. They could have ignored this, they could have swept it under the rug, and they could have waited it out for probably a month, and people would have just stopped talking about it. They probably wouldn't have lost a ton of sales because of it, but they wanted to clear the air. And the VP of public relations contacted Brooks and said, Brooks, I want you to understand that what was said was not said on behalf of McLaren. It is not how we feel, and we are truly sorry that you were insulted in that manner. Now, in our original video, in my original video, there were some things said discussing the position of McLaren and discussing how McLaren never should have spoke with Brooks in that way, or that this particular VP never should have spoke with Brooks in this way. And there's one thing that we need to understand, because when you go through the comment section, a couple people are mixing concepts. It's very important to understand that there's two things at play here. One is that Brooks was given this car by a dealer in Florida and he made a video about it. And two is McLaren said, you're just an owner with a camera, you don't review our cars. Brooks never should have been allowed to make this video. This was clear from day one. I didn't even bring it up because it was crystal clear that he shouldn't have been allowed to make this video. It was a press car, it was a pre-release car that was going around to dealers for promotion and to be looked at, and he never got authorization from McLaren corporate to make the video. Now, that doesn't fall on Brooks, that falls on the McLaren dealer. The McLaren dealer is the one who ultimately has the responsibility. Everybody knows I would never ask my McLaren dealer, or I should say it this way, I should never expect my McLaren dealer to give me keys to a car. You better believe that when the 765 was at my McLaren dealer, I called and said, hey, you want to give me the keys to it? Knowing they couldn't, knowing that they were going to say no, but if they gave me the keys to it, you damn sure believe I would have drove it around the block. I might not have made a video, but I would have tried. I would have gone out for a drive in it. And the McLaren dealer never should have given him the keys, and that's crystal clear. So Brooks asked for a car, asked for a video. They said, knock your lights out. He did it. He made a video. Video should have never been produced. On the other side, the McLaren representative, the McLaren head of communications and marketing, never should have spoke so disrespectfully to one of their customers, somebody who has promoted the brand. So as the video has been rolling out, obviously it has been evident, so many people coming in and saying, I bought my car because of Brooks. The performance of McLaren was brought to light by Brooks, and that's what ultimately got me interested in the brand. And it was very evident that there are a very large list of people that have gotten into the brand because of the promotion that they've done. It's understandable. For me, drag racing cars, I used to drag race. I took my old pickups there. I blew up mini Corvette engines and clutches and drivetrains and rear ends at the drag strip in Sacramento Raceway. I had a lot of fun doing drag racing. My brother ran it, but today it's not something that I find as interesting. However, it's not what the car was built for. The car wasn't built as a drag car, but it does a damn phenomenal job. If you go and look at the 765 LT times, getting into the 8s in stock form is truly unbelievable. There's no other cars that are being produced in this level, really even a couple steps higher, that are even close to its performance and the reliability and the consistency at which it can put these times down. So this has definitely brought a new customer base and brought excitement around the brand. I said it before, the minute that Sport Auto made a video or a news article or a magazine article stating that the 720 and the 600 LT were faster than the 675 and the 620R around the Hockenheimring, people kind of like, oh, well, this is boring. And even I was part of it. I said, well, maybe they made it too Ferrari-esque. Maybe they made it too emotional, too low of a gear ratio, so it was too jumpy and too darty, and maybe that's why it's slower. Maybe it's harder to control at the limit. And since then, other people like Brooks have gotten the car and created excitement about it. Other people are going on privateers and setting track records in cars in the 765 LT on small circuits places and running faster than these motoring journalists were doing. It's really interesting to see that the image is being brought back up, and the resale market on the 765 LT has become quite hot. The 765 LTs are selling faster than 488 Pistas, which in my opinion is completely unheard of for a McLaren special brand or a special product. So good for everyone who's been promoting the brand. Good for McLaren for actually coming back and responding to Brooks and saying, hey, this is not what we think. We don't see you this way. And McLaren has the VP of PR for McLaren has said, this comment does not reflect us as a brand. This was one person's opinion at that moment. Who knows? Maybe they were frustrated when they said it. We don't know. But it doesn't reflect McLaren as a brand. What does this mean? What does it mean going forward? They say they're going to give Brooks an Elva so that he can test, he can put his draggy on it, and he can make the video that he wanted to make. It's going to be in a car that has hopefully up to all stock standards. Hopefully it meets all of the requirements that McLaren does to say this is a production vehicle, and they can be happy with it. There's really very little reason that it's slower than a 765 or 720. It should be right in that ballpark. But what does it mean for journalism? What does it mean for YouTubers? What does it mean for owners with cameras? Hopefully it means that both sides will respect each other a little bit more and see that each side does have something to offer. I made another video, one where I actually kind of dissed on the YouTubers a little bit and said I can understand why McLaren might not want these cars in the hands of the average YouTuber. I've seen some very cold videos where somebody just goes and drives a 720 and says, well, yeah, I don't think I want one. But in reality, it's one of the best supercars that's been produced in a damn long time. I think the 720 will ultimately go down as a big game changer for the brand and for this car segment as a whole. I don't know if it's going to change how any brands really represent anything. I think it's going to be pretty much just a situation that happened. You're still going to have probably the battle between motoring journalists and YouTube and everything like that. I would love to see some hybrid come out of it where maybe you get some big name YouTubers who might know a little bit more about the lifestyle side of it and the ownership side of it and excitement and bring their input into that and mix it with one of these motoring journalists that actually knows how to drive a car and knows how to describe what it feels like on the limit. That I think would be the ultimate. You get two sides to it. You get a driver and a YouTuber and an owner's take on it. Maybe that would be the best way to see some positive out of this, and maybe one of these entities will start up a cooperation with each other. Two of these entities will start up a cooperation with each other. I would love to see that myself. So I don't think that this particularly represents any milestone at all. It's something that happened. It's hopefully something that will make these marketing teams think before insulting an owner or insulting a YouTuber or even insulting a motoring journalist. I mean, I think that we all need to work with a little bit of respect for the profession and what each person does bring to the table. Finally, what I will say is that I am heading to Florida. So you guys know I've been there several times in the last year, and I do plan to meet up with Brooks. So one thing that I would like you guys to do is go ping him. I think that we need to get him off the drag strip, and we need to see him drive his car maybe around I don't know, PBIR or something like that. We'll see if we can talk them into doing something like that. But anyways, guys, thank you for all the input. Thank you for all the comments. Let me know if you have any questions about this topic. From my side, it wraps it up. Good job, McLaren. You know, it's a brand that I've supported for many, many years. I've got 4 in the garage, and it really does make me happy to see that they came in and said, hey, this isn't us. This isn't representing us. So thank you for doing that. Brooks, thank you for being respectful to McLaren and not going out and completely bashing them. I think both sides handled it quite well, and it was really good to see a big corporation respond to Brooks, the little guy, and say, hey, you know what, we like you, we want to do this, we want to work together, and we respect you, so please forgive us for what one person said. And I think that's all we can hope for in such a situation. Anyways, guys, take it easy. Hope we learned something here. We'll catch you later.